It's Wars Ahsoka here, and I'm back to talk about Star Wars Ahsoka Season 1, Episode 6, and my thoughts on this episode. Absolutely disappointing. Absolute disgrace to characters, absolutely boring at parts, and... wow. Wow, that's the best you could do, Dave Filoni, to introduce such an important character. An important character like that, and that's how you introduce him, and that's how you show what state he's in. Oh god, this episode was bad. The acting from two characters in this episode was tragic, especially when it's apparently been the first time they've seen each other in such a long time, and you watch the scene and there's no emotion, there's no fucking energy, there's nothing there. These are like two people who haven't seen each other in a couple of days. That's how weak it was. And the Disney Star Wars comedy, the Disney Star Wars aliens in this. Oh my god, it was fucking ridiculous. Rock people. No, rock travelling people. Oh my god. And you're going to get the Shields going crazy for the Stormtrooper uniforms and that stupid twat with the gold face. Is this really what you think entertaining? I mean, seriously. That is what you call cool? A bunch of fucked up Stormtroopers? Get the fuck out of here. This episode is a fucking disgrace. Okay, it's not on the same level as having Lizzo and, Luke Skywalker drinking fucking green milk out of that stupid tit. But I think it's in that region. Okay, this episode was shit. I am fucking angry with this. What the fuck is this? Last week, the first bit of last week's episode was great. The second bit was really bad. But this... I'm just pissed off with the main person they introduced in this. I mean, most of you know who I'm talking about. But god damn it, man. I'm just gobsmacked. Absolutely gobsmacked. I knew it could go bad, and I don't understand why I'm so surprised, because this again is Disney Star Wars. But this episode, wow. Fucking joke. So what am I going to give this out of 10? Oh, it's a fucking 1. And the only reason it gets 1 fucking point, I think, is, yes, the Stormtroopers look like shit, but if you had done a decent story with that, I might have been interested. Again, I like the, rugged look, but you have to explain it better than you did in this episode, and I just can't. Oh, fucking hell. Embarrassing. It's a 1 out of 10. Probably the worst episode of the season for me so far. So let's get into spoilers now. If you do not want to hear spoilers, leave in 3, 2, 1. So, the episode starts off with us in the whale fleet, where Ahsoka is talking to Yarn, and they are talking about Sabine, and Ahsoka brings up the fact she should have told Hera about the fact Sabine volunteered to go with the bad guys. She gave the bad guys what they want, and she's going to be the entire reason Thrawn's able to get back to the galaxy. And Yarn kind of seems a bit surprised, but, well, he believes Ahsoka's going to fix it all, doesn't he? Oh my god. And then that scene ends with Ahsoka asking Yarn to tell us some whale stories. I'm not taking the piss. That is how that scene ends. Because, again, throughout this series so far, they are so fucking determined to tell us about whales and how they're the reason everybody can get around the galaxy. And it's just stupid. If you've read the EU, if you've done any sort of research, it's like it was a really cool way, everybody fucking got the technology. And now we got to find out, oh, don't worry, there were whales involved. No, alright, no. Fuck off with this bloody fucking Peter bullshit. Anyway, We go to this mysterious planet where we meet up with Sabine and the bad guys on that ring fucking thing. And, Morgan tells Balon to get up to the bridge because Balon had to have a little chat with Sabine, where he says to Sabine, yeah, I'm giving you what you promised. Just stay in this prison cell for a bit until, we're ready to do the deal. Whatever. So Balon heads to the bridge where we get the whole historic backstory about this fucking planet we're going to. It's a whale graveyard. This is apparently where all the whales go to die. So the fleet of whales coming in, what, are they just suicidal or something? I don't fucking know. So they get on a transport, head down to the planet, and we meet up with 3 fucking night sisters. Night mothers or witch mothers, whatever the fuck these idiots are called. Yeah, it turns out the Dathomir witches, well, it wasn't just that one little cult. No, it turns out these bastards have had, they've been all over the place. They used to have an empire or some ancient civilization. I'm getting kind of sick of this shit with them. Yes, it was an interesting story in the Clone Wars. It was. Now you're taking the piss. Alright? I don't give a fuck about these stupid fucking witches. I really don't. Okay? Don't be fucking telling me that these arseholes have a fucking past. Why do I care? Why? Yes, it was interesting backstory for Ventress. I get it. And I get what George Lucas was doing with that character. But to go this far with them, when George Lucas wiped them out. Oh my god, I'm so sick of them. I really am. The Dathomir bitches, man. Anyway, so it turns out they're the ones who've been communicating to Morgan about Thrawn being alive and that he needs help to get back to the real galaxy. They also have magic balls. I'm not kidding. They have magic balls. And then they notice Sabine and say, one's a Jedi. Well, how the fuck do you know that when she doesn't have the Force? How? And by the way, they don't notice the 2 real Jedi next to her. Apparently they can't detect that shit, but one person who doesn't have the Force, they can detect her as a Jedi. Fucking hell with this writing. How the fuck is... Oh, fuck me. Dave, you are so fucking shit at this. Oh my god. So, they send a message to Thrawn, the Empire, who's on the planet, and, tell them that, Morgan's there and they're all ready to set up, Thrawn's return. So, we then get Sabine getting taken down to a prison cell because the Night Mothers don't really like her, and they think she's too dangerous to be kept on the platform. So they use their balls to encircle Sabine and drag her down to her cell. Where then, the next scene, we see an Imperial Star Destroyer rising up and flies over the Night Mothers and Morgan. And it turns out to be the Chimera, with a bunch of gold on it as well. And it looks pretty fucked up in certain places. So yes, this is Chimera. This is Thrawn's Star Destroyer. Let that sink in for a little bit, because oh my god, when we find out what's happened to Thrawn's fleet, Jesus. So Thrawn's Star Destroyer goes down low enough so they're in the hangar bay. They get sent over a platform where we see all the fucked up stormtroopers in their kind of fucked up uniforms. Yeah, this planet's been pretty bad to Thrawn's men. And then we see this gold looking guy. I get a bunch of people going to be going crazy saying, wow, that looks cool. Seriously, that looks cool to you? The shitty mask in the stormtrooper helmet. Why not just have a gold trooper helmet? Would be a lot better than that piece of shit. And what is with all the gold? Seriously, what the fuck is with all the gold? It's everywhere. Some of the stormtroopers have it in their uniforms. It's on most of the ship. Well, on parts of the ship. Is this important gold or something? Again, I would be interested if I didn't pretty much know this shit is just going to be there for decoration. No way is Dave Filoni smart enough to try to say maybe it's got something to do with the Force or anything, or maybe it repels the Force. Who the hell fucking knows? So we then get the scene. By the way, I should mention a pipe burst outside my house, so the council is kind of trying to fix it. So there's going to be a lot of work you can hear in the background. This has been happening ever since I got back from work. Don't know why they can't do it in the mornings when I'm at work, but who knows. Fucking annoying this is. You done? Fucking hell. All day that's been. All fucking afternoon. Anyway, so Thrawn. The first time we're seeing Thrawn in live action. This, a very important moment to EU fans who have read the Thrawn trilogy. How does Dave Filoni introduce one of the best EU characters we have ever seen? They have him walk through his fucked up stormtroopers, and it looks like... Sorry about that, where the hell was I? So, Thrawn walking through his stormtroopers, his fucked up stormtroopers, and approaches Morgan, Baylor, and his Padawan, and the Night Sisters, or whatever the fuck they're called, the witches, and says, you know, great to see you, basically. It just felt so boring. Do you remember what happened in the Thrawn trilogy? How we were introduced to Thrawn? I mean, that scene where he beats a rebel fleet, where he shows his mastery of art and how he can use that to defeat an enemy. That is how we're introduced to Thrawn in the EU. We are introduced to Thrawn in live action with this prick walking through fucked up stormtroopers, and it looks like he needs to go on a fucking diet. Yes, Thrawn is fat. He's fat. What? I know people are going to say, oh, you're fat shaming. It's like, come on, seriously? Why? It's so fucking ridiculous. A guy couldn't go to a gym for a couple of weeks. It's just stupid. Oh my god. This is how he's introduced. So he's fucking like, well done, Morgan. I've been working with these, you know, witch mothers. They've been helping me out with their dark magic. And, you know, now my isolation, my, you know, exile from the galaxy can now end. And I can go back and try to retake the galaxy. Oh, and we're also introduced to the twat with the gold helmet, or the gold faceplate thing, as his head of his guard. So, yeah, I didn't catch the fucking name because I just don't care. I just don't. The guy looks like a bloody moron. amount of stuff you could have done with that guy's helmet. You just put a face on it. Oh, fucking hell. So, Thrawn is then told about the prisoner, Sabine, and then they bring up Sabine to kind of, you know, talk to Thrawn, who's happy to see a familiar face for some reason. Oh, we're also... Morgan has to mention the 2 mercenary Jedi that she has in her employ. By the way, when Morgan tells Thrawn that they're Jedi, the witches are very surprised about that because they couldn't detect that shit. Even though they detected a Jedi who has no Force abilities, but couldn't detect the 2 real Jedi with Force abilities. Man, these witches are fucking clever, aren't they? Are you fucking serious? So, for some reason, Thrawn has decided to make good on Balon's deal with Sabine to help Sabine find Ezra. I don't know fucking why. He didn't make the deal, and why keep to it anyway? I mean, the state you're in, Thrawn, which we'll find out later, is kind of a smarter deal if you just kill Sabine now. She's unarmed, you've got a shitload of stormtroopers around her, shoot her dead. Why are we wasting time? Oh no, because we have to have a very important scene come up and we need two characters to meet each other. This is shit writing. So Thrawn makes good on the deal and gives Sabine a dog to ride and some supplies and lets her go try and find Ezra. Thrawn then sends Balon and his apprentice to go out looking for Sabine. Now I want to get the Sabine shit out of the way because it's so fucking boring and I just want to get it over with. So we get this shitty load of scenes of Sabine on the dog. Dog then gets surprised by something. Sabine's then attacked by a bunch of tribal people, I think, and she pretty much kicks their ass. Even though she's not wearing a helmet, they keep aiming for her body, not her head. Don't know why. And yeah, Sabine uses a lightsaber and kills a couple of them and the rest of them run off. And then she has an argument with the dog. Like, why did you abandon me? I don't understand why we're even dealing with this shit. Why are you arguing with a dog? Seriously, why? Then she bumps into a rock alien. Or a fucking tortoise. I don't fucking know what these aliens are. But it turns out these tortoises are apparently afraid of the dogs because I think they eat them. But then Sabine says it's fine. And then she mentions Ezra because a bunch of the fuckers turn up. And then they say, yeah, we know where Ezra is. And then she leads Sabine to meet Ezra. And we get this meeting between them. The first time they see each other in fucking years. And there was literally no energy. The acting was piss poor. What the fuck? You just looked at them both and it was just nothing. And the guy playing Ezra, he's only been on screen for about 2 minutes and he's terrible. Miscast, definitely. I just don't care. And it turns out these aliens that he's kind of made his friends, they are also travelers. They move, so he has to help and get Sabine to help them move their shit somewhere else. So I'm guessing Ezra has been on this planet helping these creatures fight Thrawn. Because what we're going to find out next is going to piss a lot of people off, especially if you're a Thrawn fan. But let's get Balon's shit out of the way. So throughout this episode, Balon and his Padawan have been kind of talking about the history of the galaxy, how the Night Sisters kind of had a vast empire, a vast civilization. This is the planet it was on, and there was like important power here, and now Balon's come here to find that power. Okay, Balon, you told us last time you asked it wasn't about fucking finding power, it was about finding Thrawn so you could take power. Why have you changed your mind? He seems not to be interested in Thrawn at all, and Thrawn not even interested in him. I don't understand this. You wanted to get to Thrawn. You said nothing about getting to the planet he's on. What the fuck? The writing is fucking stupid. He wanted to get to the planet, not to Thrawn. Then why is he bothering with Thrawn? Why has he been saying for fucking a few episodes now, we need to get the Thrawn, team up with Thrawn and take over the galaxy, when now he's saying we can find a power on this planet to take over the galaxy. And it turns out Balon might not be trying to, help Thrawn take over the galaxy. He might be trying to get rid of something. I think it's the Force. Because Balon mentions the fact that the Jedi Order falling and the Empire rising has happened a bunch of times. And now he wants to stop the seesaw, basically. He wants to stop it happening. He wants to stop the light getting control. He wants to stop the dark getting control. He wants to stop this happening again. Because it happens too many times. And the way to stop it is on this planet. Something very powerful that he wants to control. And he wants to get rid of something. Again, I think it's the Force. I think that's what he's trying to destroy. To get rid of the power shifting. To get rid of the dark side and the light. And I think that might be a good story if it was done by a better person than Dave Filoni, in my opinion. And then we start seeing Sheen start to, I don't know, not really trust her master. She seems to be going on a sort of journey. And when I say journey, I mean by the end of the fucking series, you know she's going to turn on her master because he's doing something bad. And she'll be seen as the good person at the end. I'm telling you, that's going to happen. Unfucking believable. But let's get to the final part of this episode. The worst part, in my opinion. So we go back to Thrawn, where Morgan tells Thrawn, or at least his head of security tells Thrawn, Balon and his Padawan are headed off to hunt down Sabine and Ezra, where we then find out Thrawn is going to send a bunch, two platoons of stormtroopers to go kill Sabine and Ezra. You had her, you fucking moron. What? So what? Has Ezra been so hard to find that you now need Sabine? You're literally leaving the planet. You've literally said you can't get off this planet without these special transport things that you're getting off of Morgan's ship, which is also what's happening. They're getting off the warp drives and are going to put it in the Star Destroyer. So he's going to send 2 platoons of stormtroopers. A bit light to deal with Sabine and Ezra, isn't it? Morgan says. Yes, but it turns out Thrawn doesn't have enough stormtroopers to send than that. Because it looks like this planet, Ezra might have been kicking the shit out of Thrawn. Because he says his forces are very depleted. He had a fucking entire fleet. An entire fleet got stolen by those whales. And you're telling me, with those ships, Thrawn had 4 ships at the fucking beginning of the... Oh my god. It turns out Thrawn is pretty much a fucking moron. He has lost most of his fleet. What he has left is pretty much dwindling. I mean, hang on. How the fuck is Thrawn going to make a difference in the galaxy if he can't take over a wasteland planet? Dave, you've fucked up royally here. How is Thrawn a threat? His forces are depleted. He's been kicked. He's been getting his ass kicked by rock aliens. This is embarrassing. Though this is serious damage now to Thrawn's character. He used to be a tactical genius, but he can't win a war against rock people. Utter disgrace. Utter fucking disgrace. So Thrawn only sends 2 platoons of stormtroopers to go kill Sabine and Ezra, and maybe Balon and his apprentice, because it looks like Thrawn doesn't give a shit about them too. He is just rushing to get off the planet, but before he can go, he then finds out from the mothers that Ahsoka is on the way, and well, Thrawn knows that if she gets there in time, she's going to kick his ass. So pretty much demands that Morgan tells him all the information on Ahsoka so he can get ready for her arrival. And also tells Morgan to get ready to shoot some whales if they appear. And that's how the episode ends. I am just shocked. Okay, listen, I knew Thrawn was going to get a slap. I knew Thrawn was going to be treated a bit bad. But to have it now as canon that Thrawn could not win on a derelict whale fucking graveyard planet where the worst people he's seen are tribal people and rock people, this is a fucking joke. Thrawn, in the Thrawn trilogy, was able to fucking annihilate the Republic with 4 Star Destroyers. He managed to cause so much problems for them with barely anything. But this Thrawn, Disney Thrawn, gets beaten by rock people. This is just embarrassing and insulting. A 1 out of 10. Absolutely pissed off. I'm going to say it. Fuck you, Dave Filoni, for this episode. Fuck you. And that's the end of my video. If you like this video, give it a like. If you dislike this video, give it a dislike. And if you have any comment, leave it below and I'll try to get back to it. And if you like my content, do think about subscribing. Entertainment Soldier. Bye.